How you doing? I'm Matthew Sterling Fuller, and I'm one of the co-founders of the Coffee Craving app. And I want to tell you a little bit about our, reason for starting this app, and a little bit about myself. And I'm a big dreamer. I actually was a construction worker and then a business owner for several years. And a few years ago, everything kind of fell apart. I found myself with no money coming in and a lot of money going out. And so, as a business owner, traditional business owner, and someone who thought like a business person, I didn't want to go back to work. I wanted to find another business, but I wanted to find something that was stable, financially stable through recessions, and something that was going to make a lot of sense and in turn make a lot of money. And so I started studying different companies and industries, and I was studying the coffee industry as a whole. I started studying different individuals that were making a lot of money, and I actually started following Howard Schultz. Howard Schultz is a multi-billionaire, the CEO of Starbucks, and I was able to find out that this gentleman had basically created a new culture in coffee where before Howard Schultz came around, there was nobody spending $5 a cup for coffee. It was unheard of. And what happened was he had the vision, he had the dream, and he stuck it out, and he's now reaping the benefits of his tenacity. And so, when I was studying him more and more, I started researching coffee, finding out, it was the #1 traded commodity outside of oil. It was the #1 consumed beverage next to water. And I found out, 500 million cups are served every single day. And I just really couldn't believe how powerful coffee was. And as a business, it sounded like it made a lot of sense. For every 7 pennies of raw coffee turns into $15 of profit, huge profit margins, people are addicted to the product, and so it made a lot of sense. But I wanted to find out, how can I participate in this industry, because I lost everything. I don't have any way of, financing a coffee shop, and there's a lot of risk involved with being a mom and pop coffee shop, and Starbucks is not offering any franchise opportunity anymore, so there was no chance of doing that. So I wanted to find out, how can I get a piece of the coffee market without the huge investment, without a lot of the risk? And so I was studying different companies, and I found a company, and the first thing I wanted to do was find out, did people like the coffee? So I grabbed a bunch of it, and I started giving it away to different coffee lovers that I knew, and I got an overwhelming response. People loved the coffee. It was something that, they wanted more of right away, and that was a big clue for me, and that was what made me just really dive deep into different parts of the company and whether or not it was going to be the one. And I looked at the profit margins, they were there. I looked at the leadership, that was there. I met with the co-founders, I met with the vice president of sales. And things that impressed me about the company were not only what they had accomplished, $400 million in 5 years, what their goals were. And to be one of the fastest companies to $1 billion, to be the fastest company to $10 billion, and to be the most admired company in the world going after. Sold on the fact that the company was solid. I just needed to find out, how am I going to take this to market? And so I found out that Starbucks had been the pioneer in the game, but McDonald's wasn't a slouch. And what they did was they saw that Starbucks was actually growing by $1 billion a year, and they said, we've been serving coffee for a long time, how come we're not growing that fast? And they actually hired one of the top people from Starbucks to come over to McDonald's. They rebranded their cups. They've done a lot of things to actually remarket their coffee, and now you see McCafe popping up everywhere. And over the last 6 quarters, $20 billion in coffee sales just in the McCafe brand, and that's due to the fact that McDonald's has more distribution points, and so there's more locations. And so I thought to myself, okay, great. What makes a coffee brand strong? The fact that when you look at the branding and marketing, you see familiarity, you see a consistency, so people know what they're getting. When they go to Starbucks, they know what they're getting. When they go to McCafe, they know what they're getting. And so I thought to myself, okay, that needs to be one of the common threads. Also, distribution points needs to be a lot of them. And so I thought to myself, I needed to find a brand. I had found it. I needed to find out how to mass distribute this. And because of the way that this coffee is packaged, it's actually a single cup. It's one of the fastest growing trends in the industry. And because of that, we're able to actually set up coffee corners in your existing small businesses. Whether you have a tanning salon or a tire shop, it doesn't matter, because if you have room for a few chairs, some coffee cups, and some hot water, you can have a coffee corner in your establishment. So we have a coffee that's very convenient, very consistent, very affordable. That's the perfect home run. We can have more distribution points, and we can put some of the money that Howard Schultz is making right back into the pocket of local business owners. And so we started this concept of the coffee corner. It's very simple to start a coffee corner, very little overhead, and to show you how to do it.